Hello everyone, how are you? You might be asking, Sky, why is your hair so long and scraggly? To that I answer you, it's winter, and I'm a hermit. I have no need to go anywhere, but I'm getting a cut tomorrow. I made the appointment because if I don't make the appointment, I never go. But anyway, guys, I'm trying. This is another pro match interview, but stay with me here. Don't click off yet. I'm going to try to do this in a little bit of a different way, a little bit more of a direct, have more face-to-face sort of stuff because I think people like them. It's just, I think I've been doing them a little bit dry before, so I'm going to try to maybe put a little bit more life into these. Let me know how you like it. Anyway, today we have Cloud9 versus Afreeca Blue on Volskaya Industry. We just love those 2 CP maps. But I do actually like doing the 2 CP maps because they've been shunned for so long in North America. Teams haven't been playing them very long. People don't talk about them much. You know, you have 1,000 people talking about Kings Row, but 2 CP, Volskaya, other maps like that, Hanamura, not so much. So, without any further ado, let's get into the game. So as I said, we're at Volskaya Industries. Afreeca Blue will be defending on the blue team. That's convenient. And Cloud9 will be attacking on the red team. There's been a lot of really divey, sort of fast compositions we've seen lately out of Apex, the tournament that's going on, the tournament this match was played in. Now, I'm going to pause real quick because the action gets real furious, real fast. But as you see, Cloud9 is running triple DPS. That's very interesting, but they're on offense. Now, this sort of lineup is risky because if you run into too many, divey tanks that can get back there, it can be a problem, but you're on offense, so they can always swap off if nothing's bad. They can possibly use this composition to just go in and kill everyone real fast with their damage, but let's see what they do. A little bit of a Genji 1v1 leaves Arhan from Afreeca Blue on the defending team a little bit low, so he has to come around here to get some health. In the meanwhile, you see that Cloud9 is going to be leveraging this DPS composition. So at first, you're wondering, well, what are they going to do? What's the position going to be? So they're going to come up here. And the reason for that is, well, they have all this DPS. They have the McCree, the Soldier, the Genji as well, who actually has no fall-off, so he can do a good amount of damage, even from a distance. And just stand up here, pellet everyone. You see Adam's shield is already cracked, and Rib's shield, not even a scratch. That thing's pristine. And now look at Afreeca Blue's lineup. This is very much a mid-range, sort of jack-of-all-trades, whatever comp. We have a little bit of divey, a little bit of sit back and just DPS. So it's just kind of, whatever, kind of taker of all, if you will. There's a bit of an issue with that because Cloud9 is running such a one-dimensional lineup, if you will, just a ton of damage, get in there, kill everyone real fast. And Afreeca Blue is just kind of running this middle-of-the-line thing. They're going to have a difficult time dealing with this. They don't have really the raw power. They have a lot of utility, but not the raw power to just break through and actually kill all of these DPS heroes. So they're looking like they might be in a little bit of trouble. They don't have many options. As we see here, it's a bit awkward because if they're to jump down, they're just going to get pelleted. And if they back up, they give up a lot of real estate. So, well, we'll have to see how they can get out of this situation. We see Surefour, actually lots of lucky shots hitting Surefour. That would have been pretty tragic if he had gone down, but God's here going through the back. Now this is just putting pressure on. No one can really kill him. Just the way Volskaya works, right? He can go under, he can go under, he can go under. There's so many different ways for Genji to get away from situations. That's why Genji is so good at just messing with people here, pressuring them back, giving his team room to take a little bit more real estate, get a little more comfortable. Adam had to back up for a little while to recharge his shield, but they're just left clicking. That's what Cloud9's doing. They're just shooting. They actually wind up taking out the D.Va mech. The camera wasn't on the D.Va, so I wasn't 100% sure where she was, but she was somewhere around here where Afreeca Blue is, as a very nice shot by Rulf on Anna takes out the Lucio too. So they were just sort of standing there. They're just standing in this area, shooting over here, shooting back here, where the high ground is, and eventually team composition from Cloud9 pulled through because Afreeca Blue had no way of actually initiating on them. They had no way of fighting them. So really the only thing they could have done is to just get back. Just hide, because eventually, of course, Cloud9 has to come onto the point. And when they do, then Afreeca Blue could have come in with their slightly less long-range heavy team and done some stuff, because D.Va is quite strong against this if she can get in, and that's only going to happen in a team fight. But now we see Cloud9 has the ultimates. This should be an easy fight for them. They have the snowball potential. They were doing tons of pick damage, but lots of stalling. Now, if you look at the clock here, it's 6:24. One of the key things when you're head on ultimates, this is like the most important thing ever if you want to snowball. When you're head on ultimates, you have to go fast. There is no setup. There is no cute strategies or anything like that, cute positioning, flank arounds. You see Cloud9 has 3 ultimates already ready. Actually, let's go back even further. Okay, so when they cap the point, bam, 3 right away, and it's at 6:41. 6:41. We skip ahead all the way up here, which is we're approaching. Well, let's go even further. Okay, so this is about 15 seconds later. We went from here to only here. That's lots of time wasted, and we're going to see that it's going to give Amon his ultimate on Ana. And Cloud9 still has the advantage, but what was looking like a sure fight is turning into something that can be held here. Surefour does get the cute little flank around on the side, does get the kill there as 2 other kills come out from God's ultimate. They have the ultimates, like I said before, so they're going to have an advantage. Surefour doing a really good job, actually, on that flank around, but you see the nano boost on Adam is going to keep them back, and those were some precious seconds there. Those were some very precious seconds. Let's take a look at that one more time, because we got the early kills. But if not for this Ana ultimate, bam, there we go. Nano boost comes out on Adam, and Cloud9 says, "Whoa, let's calm down here. Let's back off. We don't want to deal with that nano boost." And then they go in, all right, like normal. But that's 5 seconds. 5 seconds. That's gonna come back. 5 seconds on 2 CP is a lifetime. So let's look here. We've almost capped the point. Almost capped the point. That would be a lot more. This would be a whole lot more normally. But we see that, that's the difference between capping the point and having Afreeca Blue come in with Adam, who now has his ultimate as well. Gets the Earth Shatter off. We see a little bit of a wasted sound barrier there from Adam. That's going to hurt. That's going to really hurt the economy of Cloud9 because the Lucio barrier, of course, the only defensive ult they have running the Ana. So losing that's going to put a real dent in them. He's already up to 25%, so that's actually quite quick ult charge, but still, no sound barrier for no reason. It's going to be a big issue. Skipping ahead just a few seconds, we now see that Cloud9 has 2 ultimates still in the bank, actually. Gaz managed to farm his ultimate up in the same fight that he used his ultimate, so that's pretty impressive of him. But let's talk about ultimates for a little bit. Overwatch is still in the phase that Counter-Strike used to be in, where it just forced every single round. I'm talking like 1.6, right? Where there's no sense of what economy was, just, everyone buy up, whatever. I feel like Overwatch is a little bit of that phase right now. I think teams should start focusing a little bit more on the trade-offs of spending ultimates on fights versus not. Now, obviously, there was the Lucio ultimate that was burned. That was just a straight-up burn the Lucio ultimate. But assuming that didn't even happen, that was just a tactical area. We like to look a little bit bigger at strategies, right? There is a value for Cloud9 saying, well, we have 2 ults here. If we push, remember, the defender has to use ultimates if they're losing. Remember that. The defender has to use ultimates because if they don't, they lose the game. Now, if the attackers lose, they're fine. They still have, right now, there's 5 minutes still left on the clock. So there's more pressure. Remember, defenders have pressure to use ultimates when they're losing, attackers don't. So as an attacker, you can go in, force out the defender's ultimates to make a very easy follow-up push. And if we look at Cloud9's economy right now, they know that Afreeca Blue just burned some very big ults for the retake in that last fight. And they do have Rulf getting his Ana ultimate pretty soon. Short 4 on Tracer will definitely get the bomb as well. Tracer, of course, charges very fast. Adam, he's kind of out of it for a little while. But Mendo, depending on how well he does, if they really focus on getting the charge to Soldier, he could actually farm up an ultimate next fight. So let's see what Cloud9 does. Now, they're waiting a pretty decent chunk of time here. It's been a good 15 seconds at the gate, just chilling out there, waiting for Rulf's ultimate on Ana. That's a long time just to stall for an ultimate, because now, in stalling, look at all this charge they're allowing the defenders to get now. Unfortunately, Cloud9 does get their Ana picked off very early. It just minor tactical mistakes. But I mean, it was a throwaway push. It should have been a throwaway push, but they made it into something bigger. And that pokey is going to give the defenders Afreeca Blue, who were in trouble because they had to burn everything for a retake earlier, now looking much more into the game. But here we go in again. Now, Cloud9 still looking very healthy. 4 minutes left on the clock, but the stalling has let Arhan get very close to his ultimate, and the nano boost from Amon is going to push him over the edge, giving him the blade. There it is. They're going to trade out the nano boosts, and this is another good example of when it would have been prudent to save. So we were talking about ultimates before, and Cloud9 saved the team fight before this. Whether it was intentional or not, they still did it. They didn't use any ultimates. It was essentially a save. This fight, we see actually the first shot fired this fight was from the defenders, Afreeca Blue. Pay close attention to the ultimates as this fight begins. You see the first ultimate popped is, boom, right there. Amon from Afreeca Blue pops it. And at this point, as an attacker, you're saying, wow, that's great. So the defenders are looking pretty trigger happy. You saw they nanoed the Genji. You can kind of figure what play they're going for there. I think that at this point, when you have such a nice thing going, saving here wouldn't be too bad either. It feels bad to save two team fights in a row, but when this is the result, basically that you burn everything and you still lose. And so let's say it was even a 50-50 shot, I'd say, of Cloud9 winning versus losing. Well, the risk of if you lose, your economy just goes absolutely down the drain is a really big issue as far as the time management goes, because they still have 3 minutes. There's no reason to let this snowball out of control. And by the way, we have a cute Bastion switch there by Arhan. He was on Genji. He just used his ultimate. He had nothing left, he had no ultimate charge. So that's a bit of a sneaky surprise Bastion pick on the side. It's a little bit difficult to deal with if you don't see it coming, but Cloud9 doing a good job of standing in these dead zones, because remember, you can't see very well through the wall in this camera, but Bastion is this little blue mess of pixels back here. He's shooting through this corridor, down here through this corridor. So standing in this area or this area is essentially a dead spot. And Cloud9 is doing a very good job of staying out of that. That is the issue with Bastion on Volskaya. There's lots of these little nooks and crannies, but still doing a lot of work because he's limiting the movement of Cloud9 so much right now. And he's doing a good job of it too. We see he actually got a kill earlier, he got another one, and he got another one there. So Arhan, or should I say Afreeca Blue in general, their overall decision-making process there, switching to the Bastion was great. I love that. And really, I mean, that's cool. You have to admit, that's cool. You can actually use that in solo queue too. If you're playing that DPS hero, if you've used your ult, especially on something like a Genji where your ultimate is so important to your hero, on these sorts of maps where Bastion can be usable, just that quick little surprise Bastion swap can be so effective. So very effective. So maybe you can put that into your solo queue playbook. Who knows? It definitely worked really well for Afreeca Blue here. And Cloud9, they're no slouches. But here, Afreeca Blue is going to stay on the Bastion. And this is where the cute little surprise Bastion that I was saying was so awesome gets a bit sketchier, because now that you know there's a Bastion, suddenly everything changes. Cloud9 can play around this a lot more. Remember, Bastion is relatively, in quotation marks, right, easy to counter if you know he's there. Just because of his limited movement. But we're going to go in here now. Show4 has the ultimate on Zarya. That's going to be an absolute huge. There's the nano visor, tears people up, although we are still trading. But Arhan, unfortunately, couldn't quite get the ultimate on time. The tank would have been so huge there. You see that sad little blue check mark next to his name, as Gods as well on Roadhog gets a lot of picks and starts to seal this point up. It's still not done by any stretch of the imagination, though. You see Mano doing a good job stalling. He has the wall in the corner, and here comes Arhan finally with the tank, but without it being a big team fight, he's just coming in alone, and it's going to really just be a cleanup here. Cloud9 doing a very good job. They have the right heroes. Well, not anymore. The Hog died. So that's actually getting a bit dicey, depending on how long the D.Va can survive here. But the point is just 1 pixel away. 1 pixel away, and they finally get it. So there we saw Cloud9, who was playing a pretty strong tactical game that entire time, that entire round, kind of get a hiccup there because they were playing a bit risky with the ultimate economy. And like I said, we see teams do that. I pointed out a few times in previous videos and my ultimate economy video, but we see it here as well. Little things like stalling at the wrong time or using your ultimates at the wrong time. You know, the economy in Overwatch is a very delicate thing, really, really, really delicate. And even if you have that tactical edge, a slight mismanagement of that can cost you big, big, big. But enough about Cloud9, because now it's Afreeca Blue's turn to attack. We're going to wait until the gates do open here so we can be 100% sure of what this team composition is going to be. Recry playing the Widowmaker. Now here's another place where Cloud9 doesn't have the answer. That can be really just a composition loss, but they do actually have the Surefour Gods combo here to harass the Widowmaker. But oh man, Recry doesn't care about that. And that is a big blow to Cloud9's defense on this point. But from behind, Gods follows through as we get a nice screenshot of the player there. So we can't see the game, unfortunately. But that Tracer Genji combo, very nice by Cloud9, getting behind immediately in response to that Widowmaker pick to take her out. But it's okay. Remember, the attackers, they have time. The attackers are fine. He's going to switch off to a McCree, which does phenomenally against both Genji and Tracers. We have a little bit of a close quarters combat situation in here that Dongyun playing D.Va is perfectly equipped for as he picks up the triple there. D.Va's so good in those types of situations. That's really going to seal the point. I'm sorry, there's a little bit of stream lag, actually. It's the stream's fault, though. It's not mine. I'm sorry about that. But the D.Va, as I said, is going to pick up a triple. And so they're just going to roll right through here. A very nice dive comp put in here by Afreeca Blue with the little Widow tech. Just in case, just in case Cloud9 didn't quite have the answer, that Widowmaker would have torn him up. But and we saw the swift switch when they saw the Genji and Tracer. And I actually really like that strategy of just as on attack specifically, because on defense you can't afford it, because if you lose a team fight then you lost the point, right? But on attack it's okay to run these techie little characters like Widowmaker, right? Because sure, if they have the answer to Widowmaker, she's not going to do very much. But if they don't, that's the key. If Cloud9 didn't have an answer, it's just playing the odds. Recry would have absolutely torn them up. So playing the odds like that, running that one little, what if thing. We saw Cloud9 do it on offense. We're in the triple DPS. Like, what if they don't have a counter? We saw Afreeca Blue there do it with the Widowmaker. What if they don't have a counter? It's high reward, low risk, very, very worth it. But let's get into this second point offense. Afreeca Blue doing a very good job not stalling at all like Cloud9 made the mistake of doing earlier, and they're just going to get right in here. Of course, they have a much divier team, so it is easier for them, but still not stalling at all, very quick, and that's actually a pretty cool place for Soldier up there. I don't see that used very much. Nice rocket jump location. Recry is going to take out the Reinhardt very early on, so Cloud9 with no Reinhardt is having a bit of an issue. As we see, Arhan now gets the blade, and that's going to seal this up pretty easily. He's not going to use it yet, though, of course. He's going to wait for the stall to come out, but there it is. Now, Afreeca Blue didn't actually have to use the ultimates to snowball there. They had Adam pop his ultimate, but that's how you use the snowball. That's how you do it. You have to, and we're going to see this later on. Afreeca Blue is so good at this, so good at pushing the snowball. When they take that first point, bam, they just go right in, no hesitation. The execution, clean, crisp. I like it, Afreeca Blue. It's good. So now Cloud9, the proverbial David, with only 1 minute left on the clock against the giant Afreeca Blue with 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Whew, that's a lot of time. But here we go. Now, if we quickly look at the compositions, this is a full dive comp, exactly what you should run in this situation, because you got to go fast. We have to go Sonic fast here. We only have a minute remaining. We need to get in there. And Afreeca Blue knows this. So that's a really nice McCree pickup, because they know they're going to be seeing all these divey sort of divey heroes. We like having the Surefour Gods Genji Tracer combo. That's a sort of meta-gamey sort of thing if you know Cloud9. So Afreeca Blue choosing the correct composition here on defense by definitely. So but Gods and Surefour, the dynamic duo coming back here, seeing what they can do, and let's see what they do. And we can see on the map there, they come from behind. We saw Surefour went up the ramp, Genji climbed up here, And Rib on Winston just launched himself with his nice jetpack into the team. And let's just see if they can kill anyone. If they can kill Recry, that's very, very good. Of course, he's playing McCree. He gets very low. Managed to take out the mech suit. That's actually, if they're going to take out anyone, the mech suit is probably one of the more surprising things to take. But this works beautifully, beautifully well. I think that the D.Va could have definitely been a Roadhog. I was saying that I liked Afreeca Blue's team composition before, but I didn't quite have a chance to finish there. I was going to say that D.Va, because D.Va's defense matrix is obviously not very good against that sort of composition, so I think a Roadhog would have been a little bit better, better metagaming sense from Afreeca Blue there. And we're going to see that they pay a little bit for it, but still just beautifully executed by Cloud9. That was picture perfect execution, really. So the team comps can't explain that. There was just Cloud9 played so well there, executed that so beautifully that you can't really just fault one little hero pick for anything like that. But here we see something we saw before. Cloud9 has been showing a pattern of this where they're a bit slow on the push. We've been standing at the gate for about 10 seconds now. The clock's winding down. Ultimate charges, most importantly, are building up here. And this is going to matter a lot later. Every second, remember, this is an extra 10% ultimate charge for everyone, about 10%. Not including poke or whatever. But that 10%, it's absolutely huge. But Gods gets a very nice pick as well as short 4. So this point at the very beginning is looking pretty beautiful for Cloud9. Again, very good execution, great tactical play from Cloud9 all around this entire round. But very good job by the Lucio player there, by Mono, to stall out, to do a little bit of a distraction here. But let's focus on the ultimates for now. As we progress through, Dongyun actually got his own ultimate. You can't see it right now, but the respawn's going to come out right now. Wow, that was a pretty long time. But we're going to see he just barely gets his own self-destruct on D.Va. And Cloud9 looking like they're going to win this. This is their round. They pretty much got this, but oh no, here's the self-destruct. Everyone run away. Oh, and the overtime is done. No. Oh no. Oh no. They were doing so well. Just that little, I can't, that much. You saw how close Dongyun was to his ultimate. He literally he got it, like right when he used it, he got it. He was at 99% and then he used it. That 15 seconds of the gate was Dongyun's ultimate on D.Va. If he didn't have that, Cloud9 would have taken the point. That's huge. 2 points off 1 minute. They were looking really strong. But, like I said, small. I mean small. Man, people say that Overwatch is an easy game. It's not a complex game. I'm telling you, like, this game is brutal. This is one of the more brutal games I've ever played. All right? Like, Dota, whatever. No, little tiny mistakes like that just kill you in Overwatch. Kill you. So, this game, in other words, this game is hard. This game's hard, but we aren't done yet. Afreeca Blue has 6 minutes and 30 seconds to get 2 points here on Volskaya Industries. And really, that's not a very tall order, but they have a lot of time on the clock, and they're going to use it. They're running the Roadhog and Reinhardt combination. A little bit of a slow roll. Actually, they have a triple tank composition in general because they have the D.Va here as well. So like a little bit of a slow roll comp here. Again, more stream lag. Sorry about that. And so this is good. I like that they're using the clock. It's very good time management because your composition depends on the amount of time you have, of course. And lots of stuff is happening. Unfortunately, the frames are a little bit low here, but Cloud9 is going to get some nice picks up on the front. Cloud9's composition was well, here's why they're running the triple DPS here, because Cloud9 needs sort of a miracle at this point. It's a pretty tall stretch to say, oh, we'll just play standard and we'll just play good fundamentals and we'll get through it with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Cloud9 is intentionally taking a risk here, running this triple DPS composition, because they're trying to just hit it, because if Afreeca Blue doesn't have an answer, if Afreeca Blue kind of stalls out for a little while, pressured by the Short 4 Gods Genji Tracer combo, then they can potentially be able to take this round. So playing riskier because they're forced into that situation. But now the push is coming. Gonna pause real quick because we can see the angle coming around there because we're stuck in Arhan's perspective right now. Amon, though, a little bit lagging behind the back, so let's see if anything terrible can happen to him. No, instead, we're gonna go for Gods on that Genji. Gets very low, but not quite low enough. Oh, if you were looking at those health bars, they were so scary. Arhan, though, does a very nice job with his blade. Gets one, forces them off the ledge. You can see how Cloud9 is sort of scattered to the wind right now as lots of key players go down. No Lucio, no Reinhardt, but Cloud9's going to try to fight back with their Nano Visor, but it's going to be stopped by the Reinhardt shield. Oh, though, Rulf. Such a big anti-heal grenade. If we take a look at that one more time, see, this was getting pretty much shut down, but look at that. So beautiful, so beautiful. And it's going to put a lot of pressure, a lot of damage to the health bars, at the very least, of Afreeca Blue. Going to take a lot out, but oh, because of the overextension, remember, Roof had to come all the way up here to get through the Reinhardt shield because of it, so the Diva Bomb left it, so there was nowhere else for him to run. So, very nice punish there by Dongyu. Really good awareness for when to throw the bomb down. But overall, the healing grenade, the aggressive play from Rulf there is going to seal the deal for Cloud9, letting them keep their defense. And because Afreeca Blue was a little bit staggered out there at the end, it's actually going to give Cloud9 enough time to get back into it, get their defense set up again. But they're going to still stick onto this triple DPS setup. We see Recry go on to the McCree now and attempt to counter this. Sticking onto this triple DPS setup even after all this time is a bit risky. Maybe would have seen Surefour or Gods swap off to something else. But Arhan here in the back. Fortunately for them, though, Afreeca Blue not doing too much to this. Like I said, they switched off to the McCree with Recry, but it doesn't matter. You need to get up to them to actually be using that flashbang. I'm going to see that still not too much is happening, as Afreeca Blue will drop down, but with a pick, a sound barrier, a blade, all this stuff. It's going to be another win for Cloud9. So now Afreeca Blue getting dangerously low. Arhan there just barely falling off the ledge. Nice pay, really nice individual play, though, coming out from Afreeca Blue, taking out two, but Recry goes down. Lots of chaos in this fight, which Cloud9 really likes, of course, with the triple DPS setup, with the Genji, with the Tracer. They like these very hectic battles. And so Afreeca Blue, there it is. Adam switching off to the Winston. That is absolutely what they needed to do. Perfect. Getting more mobility, being able to chase down this Cloud9 lineup, being able to just do one very clean execution to finish this point off. And the relatively flimsy, sort of weak triple DPS composition from Cloud9 probably can't handle this. As the execution comes out, Arhan's going to pop the blade, go in there with the nano, but oh my gosh, Rulf save. Not only did he save it last time with that triple grenade, but he saved it that time with his sleep dart. So it doesn't matter. Rulf just says no. He says no to everything Afreeca Blue's doing. So this is going to actually be another hold for Cloud9, but like I said, Afreeca Blue has the comp. They should be able to do this. They have the dive. They have the mobility. They have the mobile tanks. They have the McCree to shut down flankers. They have all the tools they need to take out Cloud9. And I think Cloud9 has been holding on to this team composition of theirs, this triple DPS team composition, for a bit too long, because these players have been dying. You know, Surefour has had plenty of chances to swap off. Mendo and Gods have a couple chances to swap off as well. I think Gods actually hasn't died too much, though. But here we go. We're going to come in. Amon going to get the pick off on Cloud9's Genji. Very easy because Recry had the flashbang, of course. So they're just going to slow roll in here. They have, like I said, they have the team composition as long as they make no mistakes, which doesn't look like they are. Flashbang's going to miss a little bit. Recry, a little bit, maybe a little spaghetti with the right click there. But it's still okay as they're going to come in. And there's not too much that Afreeca Blue can do about it. There is no Rulf to save them this time. There are no mistakes to be had, so that's going to be point A, and Cloud9 need to hold this to tie it up, because right now it's tied up 3-3 for both teams. Points on Volskaya Industry, but look at this. Look, like, this is what I'm talking about with snowballing. Afreeca Blue has been demonstrating really, really crisp, clean, fast pushes after taking point A, where Cloud9 has been a little bit sluggish. We've seen them pay dearly for that before, but we see there it goes. It gets popped. We use the boost. Oh, remember, we have the Lucio. running up, sprinting in, and Arhan actually gets to this point before anyone on Cloud9 does. And really, they're in a great spot. But you have to ask yourself here, we're going to go back to economy, right? 1 minute, 25 seconds left on the clock. You have to win, right? All you have to do is just take the point to win. You have another push after this. With 1 minute, 25 seconds left on the clock, you're putting so much pressure on Cloud9. If you look here, remember, Afreeca Blue is on the point. They have taken it. They've captured the point at this point. Well, whatever. They've taken it. So, Cloud9 is forced to use anything that they have. Roof's going to come back pretty soon. Rib might even get his Earth Shatter. And Afreeca Blue can be pretty confident that Cloud9 has something right at this point because Cloud9 has been playing pretty well a game. They have their ultimate charges. So here at this, you just save. Save your ultimates. You have another push. You're already putting so much pressure on defense that they're forced to burn stuff. But Adam is going to use his Winston ultimate, followed by Amon now. They're going all in on this push. Truly. They're really... Afreeca Blue went all in, and they lost. Oh, no. And now let's look. They have nothing. And Cloud9 has their Earth Shatter. So a bit lucky in this case, but Cloud9 could have had a lot more. Imagine if Afreeca Blue had saved. Oh man, they would have had so many nice things to take this point, and they wouldn't have lost anything for it. So I keep saying save. When you're down to these like 1 minute scenarios, I really like the 1-2 punch. They go in with a dry push and then knock them out with that ultimate uppercut. Dongyun goes here in the back, although sees Cloud9's Mei swap off. Surefour swaps to Mei here. He had no ultimate charge, so it's fine. Really good pick by him. It actually did wind up catching Afreeca Blue off guard, so they lost their D.Va very early. He was forced to pop the self-destruct very early, so very nice tactical choice, like I said, by Cloud9 there. But unfortunately, they just, some really nice individual play by Afreeca Blue takes people out. We see Arhan did a ton of damage that fight, managed to even get his tactical visor. Remember, he was sitting at only about 60% at the start of that fight. And so the fact that he was able to get it so quickly is very nice. And they wound up taking the point at the end. But it was looking dicey going into it. As you see, look at the faces on those players' faces. Is that a yeah, we knew that we had that the entire time? No, they knew it was close. And it was close. And it was a great game. Very well played by both teams. But like I said, Overwatch, those little teams, I would like to see teams experiment more with these, people call them dry pushes. We call it a save push. I would like to see teams saving a little bit more liberally, because right now I don't think they do it enough. Plus we can see a difference that really was a big difference here. Afreeca Blue's very crisp, clean snowball execution. When they take point A, they go bam, like straight up to point B. For Cloud9, a little bit of a delay hurt them every single time. So, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you like the face cam, if you think it's more engaging that way, and what you thought of the analysis. I hope you liked it. Leave in the comments below what you thought of the game. Do you think that there were other things that could have been done? Maybe bigger, more important things that I didn't mention? Who knows? Leave them down in the comments below. And, of course, like I said, let me know if you like the face cam, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. Anyway, guys, I think that's about it for today. Never forget to stay positive. Have a great day. Who's a sleepy dog? Yes, you are. You're so sleepy. I would call out his name, but I would feel bad. Never mind. Ducky, hey. Say bye-bye. All right, go back to sleep. I feel terrible.